Hello students, good morning. Today we are going to see the continuation for the lesson 7 thermodynamics. The topic is Born-Haber cycle and the second law of thermodynamics and the Gibbs free energy. These are the topic we are going to learn. First we are going to see the previous video we studied about the what is meant by lattice energy. Okay, what is meant by lattice energy? So the lattice energy, the energy required to completely remove the constituent ion from this crystal lattice at a infinite distance. Okay, that is called as lattice energy. So based on this lattice energy, how to calculate the lattice energy? So we are using this Born-Haber cycle. What is meant by Born-Haber cycle? So first one is this is one metal of molecule. What is meant by X? X is the halogen. Delta H is the formation of this metal and the halogen, metal halide, right? So this is that is direct reaction. This again one. So what is meant by Hess's law? So whether this reaction takes place in a single step or multiple step, the initial and the final value will be the same. So that is, we already know that. So that is called as Hess's law. So here that is the same thing. So the metal, first we are what is meant by delta H1. So here so many process will take place. First one is metal is converted into solid state, is converted into gaseous state. What is this process name? Any substance is converted into solid into gaseous state. So that the process is called as sublimation. Okay, what is meant by sublimation? When a solid substance is directly converted into gaseous state, that is called as sublimation. Then again, it is when what is meant by ionization energy. So what is ionization energy? The energy required to remove the electron from the outermost shell in the gaseous atom. இப்போ வந்து என்ன ஒரு மெட்டல் ஒரு சாலிடா இருக்கு, அது first process it is converted into gaseous state. So that process is called as sublimation. Again, the gaseous state, we remove the metal ion. So how it converted into metal ion? Remove the electron from this gaseous state. So that is called as ionization energy. So the process is called as ionization energy. The energy required to remove the electron from the outermost shell, that is M plus ion. Okay, so now again it is a next process is dissociation of this molecule. So this is X2 is the halogen molecule, right? X2 is a molecule. The dissociation. So the molecule is converted into atom. So that is called as dissociation. That is molecule mean that is two molecule is there converted into atom. For a balancing purpose we are adding half molecule. So that is X. So that is the halogen. So then we are gain, that is electron affinity. So electron affinity. What is electron affinity? So when an atom gain one electron to remove, so how much amount of energy is released, that is called as electron affinity. Finally, this M plus ion, the X minus ion to give the same molecule, that is same compound. The reaction takes place in a single step or multiple step. The initial and the final state will be the same. That is called as Hess's law. So using this Hess's law, how it will calculate the Born-Haber cycle using the lattice energy. So that is called as sublimation. Sublimation, solid is converted into gaseous state. Then dissociation, halogen molecule is converted, that is molecule is converted into atom. Then again ionization energy. So that is gaseous state is converted into removal of ions from this atom. So electron from the outermost shell. Again another one is electron affinity. So that is gaseous molecule, that is gain one electron, that is X minus. Then again finally it is converted into lattice enthalpy. That you have to find out the lattice enthalpy. So what are the values is given means you can easily find out the delta formation of solid Mx directly from the element. So Hess's law, what is meant by Hess's law? Sum of all these values. Okay, so that is called as Hess's law. Okay, so using this Born-Haber cycle, how to calculate the energy of this sodium chloride. Okay, how to calculate the energy, how to calculate the energy of the lattice energy of the sodium chloride. First you are writing the equation. Sodium is a solid and half molecule of chlorine molecule. That is first one is delta H formation, NaCl. Okay, that is the solid. So what is the first process? Solid is converted into, what is solid is converted into gaseous molecule. What is this process name? That is called as sublimation. So that is sodium gaseous molecule. Okay, here also second one, what is the dissociation of chlorine molecule, dissociate into, that is delta H2, dissociation into chlorine atom. Okay, in the gaseous state. Okay, now again the sodium gaseous molecule, then ionization energy. What is ionization energy? the removal of electron, that is Na plus ion. Okay, then again this is called as delta H3. Okay, then this one is chlorine. Chlorine gaseous state, it is converted into Cl minus ion. What is this process name? Electron affinity. So that is called as delta H4. Okay, now you are adding Na plus Cl minus, you are adding to form the sodium chloride plus Na plus and Cl minus to form the Na plus in the solid. So that is called as delta U. You can find out this energy. Okay, what is the value of this energy? So what is the value? So I am writing that value. What is the delta H1 value? So the delta H formation value is 411.3 kilojoule mole minus 1. Okay, so that is minus. So that is the heat enthalpy. Heat is evolved. And sublimation value is, so that is, what is the sublimation value? 108. So that is the sublimation value 108.7. Okay, that is the kilojoule mole minus 1. This is a sublimation. So next one is, what is ionization energy? The energy required to remove the electron. So that is 495. So 495.0 kilojoule mole minus 1. Okay, kilojoule mole minus 1. Next one is, this is the dissociation. What is dissociation value? Delta H3 value. So the value is 244 kilojoule. Okay, so that is the dissociation value. So next one is, that is electron affinity. So that is amount of energy is released. So the minus value is minus value, right? 349 kilojoule mole minus 1. Okay, so you have to find out this U energy. So this energy you have to find out. Okay, what is that formula? First one is, what is delta HF? Delta HF is equal to sum of delta H1 plus delta H2 plus of molecular, that is delta H3 plus delta H4 plus U. Okay, so what is finally we have to find out? That is the U value. So that is delta HF minus delta H1 plus delta H2 plus delta H3 plus delta H4. Okay, so I am writing like this. So finally now you substitute all that values. So here that is what is delta H2, that is off molecular Cl2. So you are balancing that one. So you have to multiply again here, that is off molecular, that is, and that is the off molecular of this value. So that is, I am writing here delta HF minus delta H1 plus delta of molecule of delta H2 plus delta H3 plus delta H4. Okay, so now you substitute all that values. How to substitute that value? What is the delta HF value? That is minus 411.3. Okay, so then minus, what is the delta H1 value? 108.7. 108.7. Then again, what is the delta H2? That is off molecule of delta H2. So here that is off into plus off into 244, right? Then plus, what is the delta H3 value? 495.0. Then finally fourth one value minus 349. Minus 340 delta H4 value minus 349, right? Okay, so I am writing here, then simplify that one. So finally, so what is that value? Minus 411.3 minus, so you are simplifying that 2122, that is 1 2. So again you are multiplying 108.7 plus 495 plus 122 minus 349. Okay, you simplify that. Minus 411.3 minus 376.7. What is the U value? That is minus 788 kilojoule mole minus 1. Okay, so negative values indicate the amount of energy. The negative sign is in the lattice energies indicate the energy is released when a sodium is formed from its constituent gaseous ion. So that is Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. It is removal of the constituent ions. The amount, so that is the amount of energy is released when the sodium is formed from its constituent gaseous ions from the Na plus and Cl minus ion. So what is once again what is meant by lattice energy? The energy required to remove the constituent ion completely from a crystal lattice. ஒரு crystal latticeல இருந்து அந்த present ஆயிருக்கிற ion கம்ப்ளீட்டா வந்து செப்பரேட் பண்ணிக்கிறதுக்கு பேரு தான் வந்து என்னது lattice energy. Okay, so next we are going to see the second law of thermodynamics. What is meant by second law of thermodynamics? What is first law of thermodynamics? First law of thermodynamics is called as law of conservation energy. So the first law of thermodynamics, why they developing the second law of thermodynamics? In the first law of thermodynamics, law of conservation energy, the energy neither created nor destroyed, right? So that is called the second law of thermodynamics. But here, so in this, what suppose in a glass of water contain is the loss of heat energy. For glass water, one steel container full of water, it takes place in a particular place, means after sometimes it will the heat all the heat is evolved and it becomes cooled. So the surroundings is also some heat will be produced and also it will become cold. Another one is when you mix with hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide, enormous heat will be produced in the presence of water. So what is the reason? So when coming the two things, what is the reason for that? That is some heat amount of energy will be released. So how it will be calculated? So the same thing, the first law, the energy change involved in this process also constant. So first law says that the energy changes from one energy form to another energy form. That is called as law of conservation. But they need to develop how the heat will be produced. So what is the kind of natural experience? To overcome this certain process, the spontaneous reaction, what are the feasibility of this spontaneous reaction, the law of conservation. So that is they are developing the second law of thermodynamics. So what is meant by thermodynamics? So what is the second law of thermodynamics? So various statements. So you repeatedly asking question, important question, explain the various statement of second law of thermodynamics. So that is 4 statements are there. First statement is entropy. What is meant by entropy? In a single line, entropy to measure the randomness or the disorder of the molecule. So what is meant by entropy? In a single line, entropy is a measure of the molecular randomness or the disorder of the molecule. So what is the meaning for that? இப்போ ஒரு molecule இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அதனுடைய ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து இன்னொரு எனர்ஜி சேஞ்ச் ஆகும்போது the molecule அதனுடைய ஒரிஜினல் molecule வந்து டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆகுது. அந்த disorders of this molecule அதை வந்து ஸ்டடி பண்றதுக்கு பேர் தான் என்னது entropy. So that is ds equal to dq reversible by T. So that is the D, change in the heat reversible per T. So this is the entropy. So first statement, entropy statement. The entropy of an isolated system increases during the spontaneous process. So entropy, the change of this heat will be continuously, the spontaneous process. What is meant by spontaneous process? For a continuous automatic process. Okay, the entropy statement, the entropy of an isolated system increases during the spontaneous process. For a spontaneous process, delta S greater than 0. What is meant by delta S? Change in entropy. So entropy, how to measure entropy, how to represent entropy, that is S. Okay. So you understand what is entropy? Yes, it is represent delta S, change in entropy. So what is delta S total? Total entropy, how to calculate the total entropy of the system? இப்போ ஒரு சிஸ்டத்தில் total entropy எப்படி calculate பண்ணுவீங்க? So that is changes entropy of the system plus surrounding. What is mean by system? In the experiment நடக்குதோ that is called as system. Surroundings at the particular area surround இருக்கு, that is called as surrounding, that is called as delta S total. So what is mean by delta S universe? So suppose delta S universe is greater than delta S system plus surrounding. So delta S system is equal to delta S surrounding. So in this delta S universe become 0. So this is the another one in the entropy statement. So the entropy of an isolated system increases during the spontaneous process. So spontaneous process automatically the entropy of the system will be increases. Another one is Kelvin-Planck statement. What is meant by Kelvin-Planck statement? It is impossible to construct a machine that absorbs heat from a hot reservoir and convert it completely into a work by a cyclic process without transfer to a part of heat to a cold sink. So what is the meaning for that? It is impossible to construct a machine that absorbs heat from a hot source and convert it completely into work. Suppose say for example we are taking the water in the underground water using the motor. So what will the process continuously switch on that current mean what will happen? The underground water is coming out. So how it will the continuously within half an hour continuously the water is working, the motor is working means what will happen? The heat will be produced. So without changing this system the cycle is not completed, right? So that is called as Kelvin-Planck statement. It is impossible to construct without changing any system. So without supplying any heat, any changes in the system, we cannot construct in a particular process. So that is called as another one. The efficiency, work performed per heat. The efficiency and accuracy. So how it will be calculate the efficiency, that is work performed per heat. So evlo vandu heat பண்ணுது. So evlo heatல வந்து that is heat Q hot reservoir and the cold reservoir, heat absorbed by the hot reservoir and the cold reservoir by Q. So that is called the efficiency is calculated by the eta. So again it can be calculated eta is equal to so 1 minus cold reservoir by hot reservoir. For a reversible process, delta S inverse equal to delta system plus surroundings. What is delta hot reservoir? That is the per temperature heat absorbed by the whole, that is surroundings. Heat வந்து absorb ஆகுது எங்க சிஸ்டத்துல, பட் இங்க சரௌண்டிங்ஸ்ல வந்து அது கோல்ட் ஆகுது. So heat வந்து release ஆகுது. So that is minus Q. TC by so we have exchange this one cold water. So that is the TC by what is mean by temperature of the cold reservoir, temperature of hot reservoir, heat absorbed by the cold reservoir, heat absorbed by the hot reservoir. So you substitute this value in this one. So what is the answer? That is eta is equal to 1 minus TC by TA. Efficiency, how to calculate the efficiency? 1 minus TC by TH. So that is into multiply 100. So this is called as efficiency of this system, efficiency percentage of this expressed. This is the efficiency of the system. So never efficiency is never 10%. So any one of the system efficiency never say it is a 100%. எந்த ஒரு சிஸ்டத்தை எடுத்துக்கிட்டாலும் அந்த சிஸ்டம் வந்து 100% perfect நம்ம சொல்ல முடியாது. So that is called as efficiency of the system. Next one is what is meant by Clausius statement. It is impossible to transfer heat from a cold reservoir, hot reservoir without doing some work. So எந்த ஒரு சேஞ்சஸும் பண்ணாம ஒரு ஹீட்டை வந்து கோல்ட்ல இருந்து ஹாட்டை வந்து நம்ம வந்து ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ண முடியாது. So that is called as Clausius statement. Okay, so this is the fourth statement of this thermodynamics. Next one is what is the unit of entropy? What is the unit of entropy? Unit of entropy, that is Joule Kelvin minus 1. So that is called as Joule Kelvin, the SI unit. It is expressed as Joule Kelvin minus 1. So next we are going to see the what is the spontaneity of this reaction. So what is meant by spontaneously? Spontaneously means continuously. So this is one diagram in your textbook is here. So this is crystalline solid liquid. So that is the delta S greater than 0. The spontaneity I already told in the continuous process the entropy will be increases in the randomness. So that is for a continuous process the entropy of the system will be increases. So the movement of the molecule, suppose we are arranged in a crystal pattern. So these are the water molecule become disorganized. Suppose this is the crystalline solid, that is organized one, but in this liquid that is inorganized one. So this is the gaseous molecule, that is the irregular the arrangement, that is the order of this arrangement. How it will be say that the delta S in the crystalline solid entropy greater than 0, but in this the liquid is converted into gas, the delta S also the entropy automatically increases. All these total 0, the entropy automatically increases. Next we are going to see the what is meant by standard entropy changes. the standard entropy changes that is measured by delta S0. The absolute entropy of the substance at 298 Kelvin, 1 bar pressure is called standard entropy. So in general, what is the word meaning of standard? So at 298 Kelvin, 1 bar pressure is called the standard entropy. The absolute entropy of the substance at 198 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure is called the standard entropy. So what is meant by standard and standard changes அப்படின்னா ஒரு 25 degree Celsius சில டைமில் கொடுத்துருக்கோம் 25 degree Celsius. So how to calculate the 25 Celsius to Kelvin? You are adding 25 degree plus 273 Kelvin, that is called as 298 Kelvin. Okay, so this is the another one. So this is called as standard changes of enthalpy. So another one is how to calculate the standard entropy formation. So what is meant by standard entropy formation? So that is the reactant and the product. So the entropy of formation is equal to the product minus reactant. So how to calculate the standard entropy formation? The total sum of this entropy of this product minus reactant. So say for example, they are calculating the standard entropy changes of this reaction given standard entropy. Already they given some values, delta S, delta CO2. So these are the values given. So this is the equation, carbon burn with oxygen to give for carbon dioxide. So we have to calculate this delta S value. What is the product already given? What is the product? Product is CO2. CO2 value is given is, so that is CO2 minus reactant carbon plus oxygen. You substitute all that values, you can find the formation of the entropy. Okay, so this is the another one. So next one is entropy changes, entropy of fusion. What is mean by entropy of changes of this phase? So that is the another one. Equilibrium changes, Q reversible, heat of the reversible reaction, that is the evaporation. So that is, there is a change in the state from the solid to liquid. Solid to liquid means that is called as melting, and the liquid to vapor, that is called as evaporation, and solid to vapor is a sublimation. There is a change in the entropy, that is the reversible two phases, that is Q reversible by T, heat, that is the heat enthalpy of reversible by T. So what is meant by entropy of fusion? That is the same thing, Q reversible by T, that is the molar heat of fusion. That is you are writing only changes, you write that is fusion. Vaporization means that is you write only vaporization, that is the fusion. So next one is entropy of vaporization, no changes in that. So only you write that is the vaporization, delta H vaporization, that is the temperature, that is the molar heat of vaporization. So here that is the entropy changes in the phases, liquid to solid, solid to, next one is transition. What is meant by transition? One form to allotropic forms of one form to other form. So that is called as transition. What is meant by fusion? What is meant by vaporization? And what is meant by transition? What is meant by transition? The changes occur from the one allotropic form to another. So that is, we already studied the sulfur, the rhombic to monoclinic, and white phosphorus into converted into red phosphorus. That is, we are already studied the previous video. So that is delta S of transition, that is delta H to transition and detransition. So using this one, we can easily calculate the one problem is there. So first one is calculate the entropy changes during the melting of 1 mole of ice into water, 0 degree and 1 atmospheric pressure. Enthalpy of fusion of ice is how much? 6008. So delta H of fusion how much? That is this much. So that is 0 degree means that is 273 Kelvin. So solid is converted into liquid, that is called as fusion. So delta S fusion is equal to 6080 plus 273 Kelvin. This problem is repeatedly asking problem, small problem only. So that is only you write the fusion temperature. First you write that formula. Formula is very important. Delta H fusion by delta fusion. Temperature of fusion. Fusion temperature is 0 degree Celsius. You have to convert it into Kelvin. So that is 273 Kelvin. Delta S fusion is equal to 22,000 Joule Kelvin minus 1. Okay, so this is the another one. So next we are going to see the Gibbs free energy. Okay, what is mean by Gibbs free energy? So one important application of this second law of thermodynamics, that is called as Gibbs free energy. So the changes of this reaction under a specific set of condition, so without any driving force. So what is meant by spontaneous reaction? You mark in your textbook, a reaction is occur without changing any condition, any external driving force. எந்த ஒரு external force, எந்த ஒரு வேலையும் செய்யாம ஒரு reaction is converted into another reaction. One reaction is converted into another reaction, that is called as spontaneous reaction. Otherwise it is a non-spontaneous reaction. Suppose நம்ம ஏதாவது work பண்ணாதான் அந்த changes நடக்குது அப்படின்னா that is called as non-spontaneous. In day-to-day life we have observed so many physical and the chemical reaction. First one is a waterfall. So is a spontaneous downhill but never uphill. So மேல இருந்து ஒரு மலையில இருந்து மேல இருந்து தண்ணி கீழே வருது. So அப்ப என்ன வருது? அது spontaneous. நம்ம யாருமே அதை எதுவுமே செஞ்சது கிடையாது. அடுத்தது lump of sugar dissolves spontaneously a cup of coffee but never reappears and its original form spontaneously. So that is இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு பீக்கர்ல தண்ணி வச்சிருக்கிறோம், காஃபில கப்ல காஃபி வச்சு அதுல சுகர் போடும்போது கண்டினியூஸ் நம்ம எதுவுமே செய்யாம ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி it will dissolve. So that is called as spontaneous process. Heat flows from a hotter object to a colder one but never flows from colder to hotter object. So இப்போ என்ன ஹீட் வந்து ஒரு கோல்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ல இருந்து ஹாட்டர் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகுது. ஆனா மறுபடியும் ஹாட்ல இருந்து கோல்டுக்கு but never flows from colder to hotter object spontaneously. The expansion of gas into a evacuated bulb is a spontaneous process. The reverse process, that is gathering all molecule in one bulb, is not spontaneous. இப்போ என்ன பண்றோம்? இப்போ ஒரு gaseous molecule இங்க இருக்கு. So இத நம்ம சும்மா திறந்து வச்சாலே the gaseous molecule through the spontaneous. ஆனா இங்க இருந்தது மறுபடியும் எங்க தனியா ஒரு பக்கத்துல நம்மளால க்ளோஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. So that is the spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. So இதே same thing, it is combustion reaction. That is the it takes place in the chemical reaction. How it first one is methane burn with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. It cannot reverse into after it is formed the methane. So that is called as spontaneous reaction. The minus value indicate is a exothermic reaction. Another example is a acid base neutralization. So this is also acid and base to form the water molecule, delta enthalpy value. This is also spontaneous process. So here also that is we are endothermic. So in water spontaneously ammonium nitrate is water, spontaneously it is from the ammonia and nitrate ion. This is also spontaneous process. These are above all the exothermally favors but does not guarantee. So this is called exothermally, the spontaneous is favor for a exothermic, that is heat will be evolved during the spontaneous process in general, but not all that equation, but in the all the process which is are accompanied by the increase in entropy. Another one is in entropy or the spontaneous process continuously it will be increases. Next one is second law of thermodynamics. Another thermodynamic function is Gibbs free energy. What is meant by Gibbs free energy? So that is GH minus TS. So no definition is there. So only G is equal to H minus. G is equal to Gibbs free energy. What is H? H is equal to enthalpy, T temperature, S is equal to entropy. This is enthalpy. This is entropy. Okay, what? This is enthalpy. ENTHALPY, enthalpy. Entropy, ENTROPY, that is entropy. This is enthalpy. Gibbs free energy is an extrinsic property. What is meant by Gibbs free energy? So Gibbs free energy, G is equal to H minus TS. G is equal to Gibbs free energy. H is equal to enthalpy, T temperature, S is equal to enthalpy. And another one is what is meant by Gibbs free energy? Gibbs free energy is a extrinsic property and is a single value. Sometimes they are asking what are the salient features of the Gibbs free energy. First you write first point, that is G is equal to H minus TS. This is the first point. Second point, Gibbs free energy is an extrinsic property and a single value. It is also a state function. Okay, so this is the another one. It is also a state function. Now let us consider a system undergoes changes in the state from one to another state. Suppose now we are considered two system, that is G2 minus changes in the system G2 minus G1, H2 minus H1, that is enthalpy, TS2 minus S1. So what is the delta G value? So delta G value is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So that is we know that already know that what is delta S? Delta S is equal to total is equal to system plus surrounding. So that is delta S total is a reversible process. It is universally it is 0. equilibrium process. So that is delta G equal to 0. For a spontaneous process, delta S, so this condition is also very important. For a spontaneous process, delta S greater than 0. Delta S greater than 0, delta S plus surroundings greater than 0. So what is system? That is enthalpy changes per temperature. That is system. We can simplify that. That is delta G greater than 0 for a spontaneous process. For a non-spontaneous process, the delta G value is positive value for a non-spontaneous process. So another one is Gibbs free energy is net work done by the system. What is work done by the system? Work done on the system. We already studied, right? So for any system is a constant pressure and the temperature. Delta G is equal to delta S is Gibbs free energy. What is delta H? We have studied the relation between delta H and delta U. Delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. Delta G is equal to delta U plus you substitute that value in this value delta H, delta G value, you substitute that value. From the first law we already know that delta is equal to Q plus del U. From the second law of thermodynamics, delta S equal to Q by T. So you are cross multiplying that T delta S, right? So that is P delta V. So we are multiplying the delta G is equal to W plus P delta V. So here delta G is equal to minus W, but minus B represents work done due to on the expansion against that. It is work done on this by the system or work done on the system. So that is the process taking place. The temperature and pressure is equal to the maximum work obtainable from the system other than the work expansion. So this is another one. What are the first point of this? Gibbs free energy. What are the salient features of Gibbs free energy? Okay, so Gibbs free energy, what is the first point? G is equal to H minus Ts. Okay, what is H? H is equal to enthalpy, S is equal to entropy. Okay, so this is the another one. So second point is a Gibbs free energy is an extensive property. Extensive property is a single value state function. Okay, so next one is what are the third point? So consider the system. So G2 minus G1 is equal to H2 minus H1 is equal to into T of S2 minus S1. So this is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, right? So this is another one. So we already know that in this system for a spontaneous at equilibrium delta G equal to 0. For a spontaneous process delta G negative value. Okay, delta G negative value, that is the so that is another way. Delta G is equal to negative, delta G less than 0. Okay, that is negative. So the same one for a non-spontaneous process. Delta G equal to positive value. So delta G greater than 0. These are the three conditions, is very important. So next one is work done by the system. So work done by the system, total network done by the system. What is delta G? Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, right? This is the first equation. We already know that delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. What is delta G? Delta G is equal to, now you substitute the delta H value in this one. Delta G is equal to, you substitute this value in this one. delta U plus P delta V minus T delta S, right? So next one is, what is first law of thermodynamics? Delta U is equal to first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W, right? So delta U, Q plus U, substitute that, delta G is equal to Q plus W plus P delta V minus T delta S, right? From the second law of thermodynamics, for second law delta S is equal to Q by T. Delta S equal to Q by T. So that is delta G is equal to Q plus W plus P delta V minus T into Q by T. Okay, you substitute this value in this delta S. Okay, so now delta G is equal to T cancel down plus Q cancel down, W is equal to W plus P delta V. So that is change in this energy, decrease in the free energy, minus delta G is equal to minus W minus P delta V. Okay, so this represents the work done due to the expansion against a constant external pressure. Okay, suppose they are asking the what are the salient features of this free energy, means you can write this possible, these are the points. So first point, this is second point, then again you calculate that the next one is work done, that is also important question. Okay. So next one is, what are the criteria for the spontaneously? So that is delta H. Delta H, that is enthalpy, is change in enthalpy is negative, means it is an exothermic reaction and also it is a spontaneous one. The entropy is positive value, means that is a spontaneous one. So next we are going to see what is the relation between standard free energy and the equilibrium. So what is the standard free energy? I'd consider this equilibrium equation. What is delta G? This free energy we can write, this is another one formula, standard energy change RT ln Q. What is mean by Q? Q is equal to is the reaction quotient. What is Q? Is the reaction quotient. Reaction quotient. So what is meant by reaction quotient? Ratio of concentration of the product to the concentration of the reactant under non-equilibrium conditions. So that is the product concentration to the concentration of the reactant concentration under non-equilibrium reaction. These are all everything you can detail learn in the 8th lesson, right? So that is here. What is delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln KQ. This is the Van 't Hoff equation you will learn in this 8th lesson. Okay, so the delta G0 is equal to 2.303. So that is ln is converted into log, means you can multiply 2.303 log K equilibrium. So delta G, what is delta G? Already we know that delta H0 minus T delta A, that is gas free energy. Okay, so this is the another one. Next, the final topic of this chapter is, what is the third law of thermodynamics? The third law of thermodynamics, the entropy of pure crystalline substance at absolute zero is zero. So what is the meaning for that? It is impossible to lower the temperature of an object to absolute zero in a finite number of steps. So எந்த ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்டையுமே வந்து ஃபைனைட் ஜீரோக்கு நம்ம வந்து கொண்டு போக முடியாது. That is the third law of thermodynamics. Entropy of pure crystalline substance at absolute zero is zero. Limit T equal to 0, S is equal to 0. Okay, this is the third law of thermodynamics, right? So that's all about this chapter. This chapter is also completed. So next we are going to see the another lesson in this first volume. So that is the 5th lesson, I think so. 5th lesson, hydrogen. Okay, thank you children.